Yo, what's up guys? It's Network and we're back again. Today's video, like always, is for educational purposes only. Everything I'm talking about today is hypothetical, meant to give you an understanding of how structure, preparation, and patience play into building foundations for bigger moves. If you want to reach out to us for more information, set up help, or just tap in with the community, we are now fully operating through Discord. Telegram had too many shutdowns. Discord is now where all the updates, support, and resources will be. The Discord link is right down below in the description. Let's lock in. Now, let's say someone was thinking about setting up a fresh profile. The first thing they would need to understand is how important structure really is. It's not just about having a name and a number. It's about building something believable, something that blends into the system naturally without forcing it. When it comes to structure, we're talking about clean, logical data. A name that sounds natural, a date of birth that matches the narrative you're building, an address that fits the profile, typically pulled from Zillow, with a home value that shows you're tied to something solid, not a random mailbox or apartment complex. A clean SSN prefix, something unused, unassigned, or properly generated for private purposes. A fresh email address tied only to that file. A fresh phone number connected properly. This is the root of everything. Because without clean data, every application, every request, every attempt at growth is going to have a higher chance of hitting a wall. Now, once you have that structure together, the next thing someone might focus on, again, hypothetically, is creating activity. And activity doesn't mean approvals. Activity simply means visibility. Making sure your file shows up when lenders, data collectors, and credit systems are looking. That's what people call tri-merging. And it's about touching Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion simultaneously so the entire system recognizes your file as real and active. How would one do that? You could target soft pull applications, sites like Target Red Card, Barclays Uber Visa, Drive Time, anything that triggers a bureau report without necessarily needing an approval. The goal is not to chase approvals at this point. The goal is to create a trackable, traceable history that tells the system, hey, I'm here, I'm real, I exist. From there, someone would naturally want to test the waters by attempting a login at Credit Karma. If the system says, we found your file, that's your first major checkpoint. If not, you adjust. Sometimes it's the address, sometimes it's the zip code, and sometimes it's a slight mismatch in the inputs, and either way, it's all part of the setup, and this is where patience becomes critical, because a lot of people want the results fast, but they don't want to respect the small moves that build real results. You gotta respect the process. Now let's expand this even further. Public records. If your profile isn't visible in the secondary databases, SageStream, LexisNexis, Innovis, and others, it's going to be a serious uphill battle trying to get approvals later on. See, most lenders don't just check Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. They pull hidden databases, the ones the public doesn't talk about, and they verify your address, your phone number, your public history. That's why listing yourself on listyourself.net, opting in at opt.prescreen.com, registering your presence in small rewards programs, even things like applying for renter's insurance or signing up for memberships, all that solidifies your public footprint. When underwriters and automated systems check your file, it looks complete. It doesn't raise red flags. Now, moving deeper, let's talk business credit, because personal is one lane, but business is a whole different highway. If you were building the foundation properly, you would want your business set up just as cleanly as your personal structure. LLC properly registered. Business address matching public records, not a random P.O. box. Business phone line, a real one tied to your entity. IAN issued. Operating agreement on file. Business checking account open, and that's the business skeleton, and then you'd add business trade lines, at least 3 primaries, each reporting real payment history to DNB, Experian Business, and Equifax Business. That sets the stage. Now here's the real sauce. If you have a personal file, let's say a clean CPN that's sitting at a 750 plus score, and you have a business file with real trade lines already reporting, you can personal guarantee your business applications, meaning the lenders look at your business and your personal strength, and they feel confident. You're not asking them to take a blind risk. You're showing them double security. That's how you unlock funding, $10,000 business cards, $20,000 approvals at Sam's Club, $15,000 approvals at Home Depot commercial, Costco commercial, fuel cards, Amazon Net 55s. It's a domino effect. One approval leads to another. And once you cross that threshold, you move from small-time flips to real funding plays. Now let's zoom out again. The reason this system matters so much isn't just about getting money, it's about control. Control of your narrative, control of your opportunities, control of your income streams. If you set this up properly, even if it takes you 30, 60, 90 days to lock it all in, you're building a system that can feed you for years. You're stepping out of survival mode and stepping into power mode, but it takes discipline, patience, and respecting every piece of the puzzle. From the public records, to the tri-merging, to the trade lines, to the personal guarantee strategy, every piece matters. And one more thing before we close out. Everything in this video is for educational purposes only. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not offering financial advice, legal advice, or credit advice. I'm just painting the picture of what's possible when people move strategically and structure things correctly. If you want real guidance, setups, support, or you're ready to take your structure seriously. Tap in with us at the network team on Discord, and everything we do is now through Discord, not Telegram, because we need a stable, protected space to build without shutdowns. The Discord link is below. Make sure you join up if you're serious. Stay smart, stay patient, stay structured, because the real money isn't made on the real money is made when you control the structure behind the plays. And this is Network. Thanks for rocking with me.